Sunday versus the 3-4 low energy Detroit Lions is crucial for Mike Zimmer and the Minnesota Vikings. In fact, it may be the most important game of the season, but also you can say that every single game from here on out is going to be that, since the Vikings are basically in playoff mode in Week 9. And the question will be, was the Packers game, was that win the Vikings Super Bowl this year? And are they just emotionally spent and just going to mail in the rest of the year? Or is this a legit start of a run? Can this 2-5 team get off the mat and make some noise in this expanded playoff season? 7 teams. They even have a provision, potentially 8 teams, 16-team playoff. Let's go. Woo! Right? But now, not being able to get teams settled after emotional highs has been a problem for Mike Zimmer. Like, being unable to come off that emotional high of the Minneapolis Miracle was a big reason why this team came out flat and got shellacked in Philly in the NFC title game in 38-7. I mean, players even said themselves that it was hard to focus with all of that hype, and then all of a sudden they didn't get down to business till Friday. Like, really? Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, work days, the install days were just a complete wash when you had the biggest game of your lives coming up with a home Super Bowl on the line. Like, you can't get over the fact that you had one amazingly lucky, awesome play that saved your ass from blowing a 17-point halftime lead at home in a playoff game. That cool. Other than that, I have no thoughts on it, right? But also, the best head coaches in NFL history, you look at Chuck Noll, Tom Landry, Bill Walsh, Bill Belichick, not this year, are able to get as close to the same team to show up every single Sunday. No highs, no lows, just steady. And the Vikings under Zimmer really have been Jekyll and Hyde. They're like a diabetic's blood sugar after he chugs a thing of orange juice. It's just all over the place, right? And also you don't have to look any further than the last 3 games. So you take the Seattle Seahawks, one of the best teams in the league, to the brink in their building on Sunday Night Football until you just give it away at the end, and then you get smashed at home by the winless Falcons. Now that could be a bit of a letdown from that Seattle loss. That could be looking ahead towards the bye week. Lots of things in play there. And then after the bye week, you go up to Lambeau and you run the ball down the Packers' throats. So those 3 games, the Vikings have looked like the best team in the league. They've looked like the worst team in the league, right? So there is no consistently. They're consistently inconsistent. And you need to start winning games that you should win. And then all of a sudden, games that you shouldn't win, you'll have a little bit more confidence, and it won't be such a shock. It's like, oh, why couldn't this team show up against the Falcons? Like, that should never be the case. And like, the Vikings are 3.5-point favorites at home versus a team with a better record, the Lions at 3-4, for a reason. And it's not the home field advantage. Certainly not that. And the Lions are, like, all the stars are aligning for the Vikings. They're going to be without Babytron, wide receiver Kenny Golladay. They're going to be without Trey Flowers, their best edge rusher. And now this is a game that you should win. This is a game that you should control from start to finish, and let there never be a doubt that the Vikings are the better team and they get out of there with a win. Like, get your team to show up, Zim. Rein in all of this excitement, all of this pie in the sky-edness, all of this we're back, baby, overhypedness, because getting back to medium, making sure your team is never too high and they're never too low. They're not as good as the headlines say. They're not as bad as the headlines say, right? So getting them back to even, I think that's a soft skill that Zimmer's really sort of lacked during his 7 years as the Vikings head coach. So the Lions are 31st in the NFL in terms of rushing touchdowns allowed. They're 23rd in yards allowed, so Dalvin should feast. They're 26th in points allowed, so the offense as a whole should be able to do something at home against a bad defense. And also, their offense with Matthew Stafford is lagging in all categories, and they're without their best wide receiver. So you would think that the Vikings would be able to handle their business versus a very inferior and flawed team and then just kick their ass. Leave no doubt. Make sure that 2 3-5 teams going in very different directions leave US Bank Stadium late Sunday afternoon, right? And then guess what? It's another big game, the biggest game of the season. Monday Night Football. Can we erase all of the narratives? The Vikings never win Chicago. Kirk Cousins never wins on Monday Night Football. Can we just do that? Because the Bears might be the biggest frauds in the NFL, hands down. Hands down, they absolutely are. And so just go in there Monday night, take care of your business, kick some ass on the road. All of a sudden, 4-5, you may be the most dangerous 4-5 team in NFL history. Really, you got to have everything going your way, all the positive momentum. Can you keep that up? every single week, right? So it's imperative on Zimmer, and this is not hyperbole. Sunday is the most important game of the season because it will decide if the Vikings are contenders or pretenders. Like, are they really going to make something of the season? Or, like we said, was Sunday the Super Bowl? They shot their wad and that's over with. Now we just need a cigarette. Nah, we'll see. Beat the Lions' ass, Zim. Get your team to show up and actually play after a big-time win. Let's go. Let's go. All right, but your thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull some in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.